Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Box Seat. I'm Adam McGrath and joined by Mark Olmos. Mark, 9 races to take a look at this Wednesday. Obviously, with the horrific conditions that we had at Belmont Park on Saturday, over 30 mil of rain in only a couple of hours.
Yeah, 33 mils of rain overnight is just craziness. But we've got the Idyllic Prince Stakes today. Again, welcome to our viewers. Really can't wait to get into the Idyllic.
Yeah, let's take a look at the conditions that we are going to be faced with then. The movable rail is at 18 metres with a cutaway in the straight, which makes it very interesting for the race that you've mentioned there as well. Conditions look good. We'll wait for the track rating as well. Just check out the RAWA website for that track rating before you do your form. Let's get straight into race number 1. It's Perth race number 1 for our Singapore viewers as well. It's a maiden over the 1,000 metres, Mark.
Yeah, interesting to know when the last time a stakes race took place with a cutaway, but we'll get stuck into this maiden here over 1,000 metres. For the 3-year-olds, and our replay horse is My Brother Pencil.
Brother Pencil down the outside comes Lord Devoutly though with a nice turn of foot. It's Lord Devoutly coming out after Badge of Courage, who hasn't really been popped the question yet. Now he does. He draws the whip to shake him up. He shows the way at the 150. Badge of Courage, Red Noir along the inside is finishing full of running. Brother Pencil can't do any better. Down the outside, Quest of Venus, but the favourite will win it. And Badge of Courage scored from the fast finishing.
Thought it was a pretty good performance there by My Brother Pencil. A bit of time for this horse last campaign, some good runs. Had their one run behind Dainty Test, which was good. Then so far this campaign, beaten a length by Swift Platinum and 3 lengths by Badge of Courage. I was a little bit disappointed with the final 50 metres of the horse. I know it was sort of let down in the end. It goes up in weight here with Pat Carberry taking the ride, but it is a galloper I've got a bit of time for and can race close to the speed, which is going to be ideal.
Yeah, on that softish track, sort of got left behind there. Did a little bit of work as well, sitting outside, trying to go with Badge of Courage. It was a very, very short favourite. I thought it was a good run, and probably the on-top selections for a lot of people will carry the majority of betting money. We've also got in the race, Lord Devoutly comes out of that same race, loomed up at 60 to 1, and everybody thought, hang on, what's this coming down the outside?
Yeah, it was an interesting run, wasn't it? This horse is interesting. I spoke to Glenn Smith after, and he's still got a couple of question marks, as I think we all do. The one reason why I don't mind it this time is barrier 6. We've seen that it's clearly got a little bit of speed, but it's had to jump from barrier 8 and barrier 12. From barrier 6, hopefully just be able to get that nice start and not have to do too much work, because there's only a late fade by this horse. So maybe third up, we'll see some improvement as well. But you mentioned that race that we've taken a look at. I actually preferred the run of number 9 Transitional out of all of them, to be honest. I thought the trial was really good when it won by a length, and I just don't think it handled the soft track at all. You could see just through the early stages, it was just sort of swimming through the ground and not getting through as nice as you would have liked. But Peter Nucky takes a ride. The barrier is a little bit tricky. If we can get a good 4, soft 5 type of conditions, I just think this horse is really going to improve.
I think they'll be winning from everywhere here on Wednesday, which should be good for horses like this. I really like Transitional as well, Adam, but what's your numbers?
I'm going to go with number 9 Transitional, from 1 My Brother Pencil, 3 Lord Devoutly, and number 10 Nashville Cat.
I've gone the replay horse on top. Number 1 My Brother Pencil, from the 4 Prince Turbo, number 7 there Double Light, and the 10 Nashville Cat.
Race number 2 at Belmont Park. It is Perth race number 2 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1,000 metres, and there's a fair few unknowns in this race, Mark.
Yeah, it's a very tough race to figure out, Adam. We'll have a look at the replay horse though. Number 2, Keeper's Son, running 4th last start behind Foundry Court.
The heels of Mescanet, it's in all sorts of bother. Foundry Court had got through. Fiorinian also running on his Gravy. Coming to the 200 metre mark, and Foundry Court in front. Gravy picking it up though. Foundry Court the leader. Gravy keeps on coming on the inside. Foundry Court, Gravy and Fiorini, but Foundry Court's going to hold them all off. Foundry Court beat Gravy. Fiorini.
It's a nice performance here by Keeper's Son. Just worked to the line strongly, and I think we'll take a lot of improvement from that run. The big positive here is definitely barrier 4, and I think these geldings by Scandal Keepers, they normally do improve each run as well. So I like what I saw. The horse was still green and it laid out, so it still did a little bit wrong. With improvement, I think it's certainly a winning chance in the race.
As you mentioned with that run, Adam, a lot to take a look at there. It looked to be chased the whole way by Clinton Porter, I think. Yeah, it was Clinton Porter Senior on that occasion. And looked to be chased from the inside barrier, which is a negative at Pinjarra up the straight, but it was really funny. It looked like it had had enough, and then the last 200 metres it kept coming and ended up getting 4th. It like it fell into 4th. So it was really a strange run, but I think we'll see improvement out of that. We've also got in the race number 8 there, Snippetism, from the McAuliffe yard. William Pike rides. Recent trial was good behind Black Scandal.
Yeah, it really was a nice trial. Now, there was 3 in this trial. So there was Black Scandal, More Aces and Snippetism. That's the order they actually finished in. And I'm just going to spin the order and go with Snippetism on top here. Now, I watched the trial numerous times because looking at the times and the way the trials are run, I just thought this was the best one out of all of them. Now, when I looked at Snippetism, it actually had a fair bit of speed early, and William Pike's yanked banked it back a couple of times so that he was actually sitting outside Black Scandal. If he had to let the horse roll in front, I think he would have, really stretched out Black Scandal and made it a bit tough to chase. Now, with where the rail's going to be at the position here as well, I think that'll be a bonus. From barrier 1 with the earmuffs on and William Pike on board, I can just see Snippetism jumping well, getting out to a nice lead and maybe being a little bit harder to run down. And just because of that trial form as well, you're going to get a better price about it compared to Black Scandal and even more aces.
On top for you, Adam?
Yeah, I'll be putting it on top here. Number 8, Snippetism. From 11, Black Scandal. 6, GEIGER Gem. And at number 7, more aces.
I've got the 10 on top, Court from the Durant and Miller yard. From 11, Black Scandal. Number 13, Packer Pro. And the 6, GEIGER Gem.
Race number 3 at Belmont Park. It is Perth. Race number 3 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1,200 metres. And again, some hard form lines to analyse in this race, Mark.
Another very tricky maiden, Adam, but we'll find some value. We'll have a look at the replay horse, though. Number 15, Set In Steel, running a nice third last start at Kalgoorlie.
Set In Steel is hooked out 3 wide from Midnight Review, angling back to the inside. 250 metres left to go. And Secret Leader in front on the outside. Unwanted Lass. Set In Steel coming strongly on the outside. It's Secret Leader in front. Unwanted Lass goes to it now. Unwanted Lass puts its head in front. And Unwanted Lass broke through today.
It was a nice performance here by Set In Steel, now trained by Robert Whitten, and Willie White's going to take the ride here. He, of course, rode the Galloper last start and has ridden it a fair few times as well. Barrier 1 to 58 kilos. Look, I'm not sure how good the form line is behind Unwanted Lass, and then I think you just go to the career start and you see it had 14 starts and it's only had that 1/3 that we saw there. So in a field where I think there are a few handy types here, I'm willing just to keep it safe.
One thing I will say about that run as well, had every possible chance in the run. So look, a nice run on performance, sticks at 1,200 metres here. From the good gap barrier, you never know. But we've also got in the race there, number 17 is an emergency, Luke's Gold. I've got it on top from the Vaughan Sigley yard. Meant to run on Saturday and I meant to run a couple of weeks ago. It's been scratched and this is a lot easier assignment than those races.
They've just been waiting for it, haven't they? They've been drawing terrible gates and they finally get barrier 5 here as well. So if they do get the run, I think it's one that you have to have in your numbers, and certainly it'd be one that I'd be just keeping a look at the betting markets, because as you mentioned, they have targeted some better races. They haven't got there. If money comes, I think they know a bit more than we do, and we'd seen that the trial was pretty good when it won.
Speaking of money coming, there's always money for the Simon Miller's runners, and he's got number 14 here, Nobel Image, a 3-year-old filly by Reddy's Image. Recent trial was very good.
Look, it's not ideal that she has to jump from barrier 14 here, but with 53.5 kilos and the form lanes from last campaign, look, a listed runner behind Spangled Impact was a really nice third on that occasion. 5 lengths behind the River as well in the 2-year-old Magic Millions. I think she's a really nice type. The trial was good the other day, being beaten by a length. Have to work from 14 in, but 53.5, Miller Galloper, second prep, I think she's going to go really well.
Just quickly get your thoughts, Adam, on number 2 here, SHREWD Gamble from the McPherson yard. Ortier rides. That trial was very impressive in soft ground.
I got a really big opinion in this Galloper, yet it hasn't won a race. It's had the 4 starts with the 3 placings. You take a look, it's been beaten by Touch of Silver from the Durant yard, which they think goes okay. It's been beaten by Irish Brother, and then it's been beaten by Cosmic Journey, another one that people have a reasonable opinion of as well. So barrier 11, 58 kilos, mature Ortier riding. I think this Galloper is going to really appreciate the speed that he's able to just ride it out with, and this is a winnable race of mine. I've got it in my top 4.
Miller Galloper on top for you?
Yes, it is. Nobel Image on top, number 14. From 2, SHREWD Gamble, number 10, CORRENTE, and number 8, Cheap Express.
I've got the Sigley Galloper on top, number 17, Luke's Gold. From the 2, SHREWD Gamble, 3, Someday, One Day, and 14, Nobel Image.
Race number 4 at Belmont Park. It is a 2,200 metre event here, a Class 3 handicap, and there's a few form lines that are tough to analyse, but a few that are just starting to show some nice improvement. I think My Name's Bruce, KHAWAJA and In the Hood really fit that bill.
That run caught the eye last up for My Name's Bruce. Let's have a look at it at Pinjarra, just missing Grindabella.
My Name is Bruce. Spondula got up on the inside. Grindabella, they claimed them. Grindabella on the outside, Into Hood, battling Queen of Teas, followed by on the outside, Night Prowler. My Name is Bruce. Tan goes for the whip on Grindabella. Pike now starts to wind up Into Hood. Grindabella and now Queen of Teas in the middle. It's Grindabella, though, clinging on the favourite Too Good. Grindabella.
A nice run there by My Name's Bruce. We know that this stable is going really well. Sean McGrady riding nicely as well. Then you have barrier 5, the noseband goes on, and you look at the last 3 runs, 3rd, 1st and 2nd. The form lines are good around Grindabella. There have actually been some Saturday form lines we've seen come to Belmont Park as well. So although that was a Pinjarra race, I think this horse is certainly in with a chance. It just should get the lovely run throughout.
I did think it was Adam, but yeah, that was a nice run by My Name's Bruce. And KHAWAJA in there as well. Won its maiden impressively last start. We spoke about it last week. There is another race on Saturday though, so So do have a look at the dual nominations.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see which way they go, because I think this is a winnable race for this horse. I actually wanted to have it on top and just battle between it and In the Hood, but Saturday looks another winnable option as well. So it'd be very intriguing to see which way they go. But either way, I mean, they're drawn perfectly here. Barrier 2, 56 kilos. They get a nice step up. It's only a small field. There's not a lot of talent in this field. I think it can be winning.
Just a little bit of early mail for our Singapore viewers and punters there. Just have a look at Wednesday and Saturday as well. Number 8, Plain Vital, Adam, a really nice galloper. Just missed on. Was well beaten by Sonnen last start, but the money did come for it.
It was one that we talked about in the yard for our Singapore viewers. I think it was as high as $80 at one stage. And just mentioned that with the soft track, the 3 kilo claim was only carrying 51.5 that day. That it might just be able to roll out in front and, you know, hang on for a place. Now, it wasn't able to roll out in front because we saw Sonnen destroy the field, but it placed at about $8 and you could have got up to 15 throughout the day. I just think with Mature Ortier going on board, even though it's 55 kilos, I think he's probably the best judge of speed at the moment. He's one of the better staying jockeys going around. And then he's got a horse that does enjoy the soft track, and you're going to get a price about, I think you'll get 20s plus again. I think it's a worthy bet each way.
Those European jockeys just know how to ride stays and get the best out of them as well in the straight. You'll see Ortier, he'll go to his French style. He'll give it a few around the tail and they'll respond straight away. So definitely a really good point there. Number 7 as well, In the Hood. Really well named, this mare, by Street Sense, out of a mare called Atlantico. Should go well.
Yeah, I think she will as well. I think she'll go really nicely, the 4-year-old. Good form lines behind Fathoms of Gold and Grindabella. Had 3 runs now over the 2,000 metres. William Pike keeps the ride. And of course, a smallish field. I think this is the horse to beat. I've got it on top from 6 COCKRAM, 1 My Name's Bruce, and 4 Spondula.
A 6 goes on top for me, COCKRAM, if it gets a run. I think he's very, very classy. From the 1, My Name's Bruce, 2, Blue Tracer, and 7, In the Hood.
Race number 5 at Belmont Park. It is Perth race 5 for our Singapore viewers over the 1,400 metres. I'm actually quite excited about this race. There's just a few that are showing the sign. I think War God can continue on now that it's had that win. 6 spent. We know that Matt Giadresco told us the other week he thought it was a really good galloper. George and Ernie will continue to knock on the door. Eyes Wide Open's a nice horse. Star Mover, Cosmic Journey. These are all horses that we might see progress through some grades.
Yeah, you can find a lot of these Class 1 handicaps that have a lot of horses who haven't won there in a long time. It was a long time since they won their maidens. These horses are all in reasonably good form, particularly number 8, Eyes Wide Open. Let's have a look at that second last start at Pinjarra.
Near the rail and further back behind those, Born Regal coming to the 300. Secret Ensign still with a handy lead. More than 2 in front of Intercity Disco. Here comes Serious Prospect down on the inside, and Say It Sing It as well. It's Say It Sing It dashing through on the inside of Serious Prospect. Down the outside is Eyes Wide Open, but Pike is lifting Say It Sing It, and it wins the last. Say It Sing It beat Eyes.
Now, you mentioned this horse has been in pretty good form, and I completely agree with you that as a stat sense, but I've actually been really disappointed by this galloper at this campaign. Has finished 5th, 3rd, 4th and 2nd, has jumped as $3.90, $3 and $2.70 in its last 3 runs. This is a galloper that we all had a pretty good opinion of from last campaign and just hasn't quite gone on with it. And I think the prime example now is that Sean O'Donnell's riding Star Mover over this horse. He's been riding it in recent times. Lucy Warwick takes the ride. Now, I actually think that might just be a small bonus. We know that Lucy just sits on these gallopers so quietly, and she's just appearing just to be a little bit weaker than I think we expected last campaign. So maybe with that quiet run and just nurse throughout, maybe she can take that next step as well, because look, I've had her on top a few times this prep, and as I said, I've been a little bit disappointed.
Arguably, one thing I will say though was 3 wide last start. Did have cover and finished off the race really nicely, but from barrier 12 on that occasion, if drawn inside a barrier, I think it could have finished a lot closer. Number 9 as well, Cosmic Journey. Really, really nice galloper from the McAuliffe Yard. Showed plenty of ability at her first preparation, winning its first start, which not a lot of horses can do, and then got beaten as a short price favourite, being beaten by Almaleo.
It was a nice win, wasn't it, the way this horse just attacked the ground strongly. Only won by a neck on that occasion. The form lines were iffy around Special Word, but it was just the way the horse did it. It was an impressive start, 1,400 metres first up. Now it went to the 1,600 second up, carried the 55 kilos from barrier 1, $2.40 favourite, was beaten with Almaleo, which had a brilliant turn of foot. I had a couple of question marks here, and again, it's just that a horse hasn't raced since May, no trial, going into the race 1,400 metres, but she does appear to have a little bit more class on her side, and William Pike on board is always a positive.
Yeah, a couple of blokes who know how to do things, William Pike and of course Darren McAuliffe. Number 7, Come On Board from the Gavin Foster Yard. Knocking on the door, this horse, Adam.
I grabbed Gavin straight after the race and I said, geez, if you just keep finding a good horse in your field and you go through the last 3 runs runs, beaten Cronkite, which has gone out and won a Saturday, beaten Hello Paris, which is a Saturday galloper, and then beaten Card Knights, which, as I've mentioned numerous times, I think has got a very good opinion of it, but just hasn't had much luck. Now, barrier 7, I think Peter Hall going on board may be the difference here. May just need that real aggressive type of riding style that we're going to see from this, and for that reason, I'm going to put it on top from number 12, Power Packs, number 2, Sixpence Spent, and 3, George and Ernie.
I'm going with the 9 on top, the McAuliffe runner, one of my best for the day, Cosmic Journey. From the 8, Eyes Wide Open. Number 5, Serious Prospect, and 7, Come On Board.